The next topic, and I think this will be our final one of the day, is what we are currently binging. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I think it's always fun just to find out what people are, consuming unhealthy amounts of to fill the emptiness within themselves. So I always tee it up for you, Logan. I'll start with Kenny. Kenny, what are you binging these days? Any medium. It doesn't have to be, movies or TV. Anything that you're doing in large amounts.
Two things is golf. So one is golf. Like I started getting back into golf over the past couple of years. I only played like maybe 6-7 rounds over the past 2 years, and then in last fall I decided to start taking lessons, and then probably like once every 2 weeks I've been going. I just played my first round of the year last weekend. And I actually did. I've improved quite a bit. I still have work to do, but outside of playing and practicing and going to lessons, I've been watching a lot of golf. I also have found a ton of YouTube golfers, which we were talking about earlier. It's interesting. Like I've been pleasantly surprised with the amount of like golf related content I was able to find online. That's pretty informational. So there's that. The other one is I got the game when it came out on PlayStation 4 earlier this year. It's not just on PlayStation. It was all console all the consoles. It was Marvel's Avengers. And actually it wasn't earlier this year. Earlier, it was last year, 2020. Sorry. I think it was like May of 2020 when it came out.
Yeah, I think it was right before the wheels came off of society.
And I bought that, and I think I played maybe 45 minutes of it, and then just life, things changed and work got crazy, and I just haven't had a chance. And then here recently, over the past month, I've actually been playing. So I just finished the campaign the other day.
What'd you think about it? Because it got bad review.
Yeah, I will say, because like I have said before on this show, I am a very casual gamer, so I played it on easy, so I can, I'm not wasting a ton of time. But yeah, the overall storyline, it started out really well, with the whole premise of it is you start off as Kamala Khan, who is, Miss Marvel, and she's, basically a teenager that's a Avengers fangirl, and she gains powers, and she basically realizes that there's a bad person out there that's wanting to do harm to people, and that the Avengers need to help. So she goes out on this kind of quest to like reassemble the Avengers. And very early on, it's very interesting. And then about 3/4 of the way through, you just start unlocking like the rest of the cast or the rest of the characters. And it just got where there was less like fighting and more dialogue but it didn't make sense. And then the end was way too quick. The end was, I was caught off guard because I was like, but hang on, that's the end. Like
the credits are rolling. Like what's happening?
Yeah, like it's like I didn't think that was the end. Like I didn't feel like the end. That was way too quick to be the end. So, but I will say the gameplay is actually really good as far as the combat, the combat action and the combat mechanics. they're really, to me, they're really good. But again, I'm a casual gamer, so take that as you will. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's what matters.
I would love to. I would love to see a follow up to it, or maybe like, I know they did actually go back and add characters. They brought in I can't remember if Black Widow was an original character or if she was added after, like towards the end, right before release, and then they came back after the release and added Kate Bishop as Hawkeye. So, and you have to go through a specific mission to unlock her character.
Interesting.
But I would like to see more where the characters themselves are able to interact in combat. For example, like, you know, in the movies and in some other, even like in Lego games, you see that, like, if Thor could throw his hammer at Cap's shield and, you know, it would bounce off and go somewhere, or, you know, Cap could throw his shield and Thor could hit it towards others, and same thing with Iron Man. And I would just like to see, see more combination between the characters, like interacting with each other, and especially in combat scenarios.
No. I do remember hearing that there was some groaning about the fact that they didn't have the licensing rights to use their actual, you know, Avengers movie images. So they had like a generic Captain America and a generic.
Oh yeah, it's all very generic.
Yeah.
Characters, like, they try their best to make them, you know, make the characters look like they're, you know, the counterparts that we know.
Well, they couldn't.
I never read that though. I want to go back now. I'm gonna have to go back and read.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I remember.
To see about what kind of, like how do you create a game called Marvel's Avengers and not have the licensing worked out?
Well, and that's the thing is, I remember when it came out. That's the only thing I really remember is that they had obviously the licensing for the names and the characters, but not the actors. So they couldn't have a Robert Downey Jr., a Chris Hemsworth.
But still, if you look at that actor list, like, it has so many of, like, probably the top 10 male and female voice actors, like, in the industry. Like, it's people that, like, I know almost all of them.
That makes me wonder who the I want to go see who the cast was, because I totally didn't pay attention to the credits.
Yeah, it was like Troy Baker. I think Nolan North is in it. Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey. Like, I mean, they're all.
There was a
for good reason.
after credit scene though.
Interesting.
In true Marvel fashion, there was a post credit scene.
You got to have a post credit scene that shows that you've arrived. So, two good things. You know, very good, Kenny. Brianna, what are you binging?
So mine's music this time, because Kings of Leon is one of my favorite bands, and they came out with a new album probably like a week and a half ago. Called When You See Yourself. So been listening to that a lot. I like it a lot more than the one that came out before it, so that's good news. It has 11 songs, but also, like, they're very long, I think, for them. But yeah, like, overall, I really like this album. And it's just classic Kings of Leon. They have some really good guitar hooks and stuff like that, so I like it a lot.
That is nice. I mean, I find it interesting. A lot of artists are releasing things without the benefit of being able to tour to promote them. So it's an interesting dynamic. They're putting things out. You just got to have a real strong social game. And
yeah, they just do it on like every platform. But yeah, like obviously, like I follow every Kings of Leon everywhere since I love them so much. So.
Well, that very cool. It's always good when your favorite band comes out with a project. You know, I was talking a few weeks ago, probably a few months ago, time is standing still, about Idols, and I think they're doing like a European date because Europe figured out how to fight the virus, unlike, you know, some countries. But
we're getting there.
We are getting there. Way to go, America!
Yeah. Hey, our vaccine game seems weak, but there's some places that don't even have vaccines at all. So we're
Very
still
true.
some people.
Yes, just America, wear a mask. Please just wear a mask.
Yeah, it's that simple.
It's not that hard. It's the least you can do for your country.
Captain America will wear a mask.
That's right.
That's right.
It's not even for your country. It's for people in general.
For your grandmother.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell it as a patriotic thing because that's the only thing that
No, they tried that and it didn't work.
yeah. You
So-
get an America flag mask and put it on your face so people know you love your country.
Just do it for grandma.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for grandmama.
For grandma.
Logan, what have you been binging?
I guess one of the things I've been, I guess, kind of different than a TV or movies or anything lately is so I got a new app actually on my phone, and it's from an individual who, so I guess she's a personal trainer, but she's developed an app that has a whole bunch of kind of strength training and mobility and running type exercises that she kind of customizes and does for the individual people who sign up for it. The app and the website is called Run with Meg, and I kind of got to know her through a previous kind of startup app she was a part of that did audio guided running. So you would have I want to train for a 5K. So there would be, speed-based programs and interval training and recovery runs and long runs and different kind of stuff. And she has gone out on her own. And she was one of my favorite people to just listen to. It's like so many times I see the same thing with audiobooks. When you listen to an audiobook, you've got to like the author and the narrator. Yeah. So it's twice as hard to find a book on an audio platform. That's right. And this was that kind of thing. And she was one of my favorite just people to listen to kind of guide the running, really good just quotes and kind of inspiration and motivation as you're going, as well as explains the mechanics of running while you're running very clearly and very easily to be like, oh, I'm hitting my heels. I'm not running on my midfoot. Okay, if I just, tweak this, I can run a little bit better. And you can feel it as you're doing it. And one of my goals / plans this year is to run at least a 50-kilometer race. So I am kind of taking this time to ramp up to that. I'm not that far away, but I need to, the world needs to open to have some of those races again. Or else I'm just going to have to run it on my own, which I don't particularly want to do, but I'll do if I have to. But with the weather turning nice and everything, it's time to kind of, double what I've been doing and do some more of it. And her app in particular has been pretty key for building the right level of, again, body strength, body mobility, and just general running fitness. I've just been loving it.
That sounds interesting. No, I'll definitely, look at that. I'm not a runner and I'm an American, so I use the metric system here. 50 kilometers, what's that, like 2 miles? Yeah.
About, what is it, 30,
Oh my God.
31 or 32?
Gotcha. No.
5K is 3 miles, so
31 and change.
30, yeah.
So it's essentially the shortest distance that qualifies for the ultra marathon moniker.
I've done a half marathon once, and that was so long. To this day, I don't know how I ran that much at one time.
Yeah.
Well, and Logan, weren't you used to run like these all terrain marathons, didn't you?
I've done a lot of trail based marathon and half marathons and 10Ks
That's
and
so
things like
hard.
that. It took, I want to say, so to the year right before everything shut down, I did a half marathon over a trail system that was like 6,000 or 7,000 feet of elevation over the course of that. It took about 4.5 hours, which is what some people can run just like a flat marathon a full marathon. Yeah. So I'm never going out to win. I'm going out to finish the race uninjured and to run consistently. If I can run 5 miles an hour the whole time and it's a steady 5 mile an hour pace, I'm thrilled. I don't really care.
Most people.
The consistency and the not being injured at the end of it are the only reason I'm out there, because I'm doing this more for, for health, for life, for being around for my great grandkids, not for, trying to win any kind of race. I am never going to pretend I'm an Olympian or any kind of an elite athlete. I'm average me who just wants to be around be around longer than my own father was. So that's my goal. And, I'm looking forward to kind of starting with this 50 kilometer. And, in a few years, if you're still listening, you get to hear what I'll be binging for planning for my 100-mile race.
Yes.
No, that's awesome. And you know what? A 4 hour run sounds amazing. I'm going to join you in doing a 4 hour watching of Zack Snyder's.
Right. Just start running at the beginning and just run.
Yeah.
I can listen to it while I'm running, and as long, you know what, you've got something.
The perfect plan.
I'll be there along with Julian and in spirit. So
now I can't commit to making the whole thing or not being injured, but I'm going to try. Try.
Well, then when I get to my 50-mile races, I'll just have to string all 3 extended Lord of the Rings together, and that's what I'll listen to. There you go.
There you go.
We've got this.
Exactly. Just remember, a sorcerer is a wizard without a hat. That's what they call a callback.
Need a victory.
I'll tell you what I've been binging, and every once in a while you come across something organically, and you are lucky enough to be far enough into it where they've already built up a little bit of a catalog, so you can go back and binge it. And then coincidentally, right after you finish binging it, the next season is starting. So I reached one of those magical moments in time, and it is an animated series called Final Space. I don't know if anybody's heard of this.
No.
It blew me away because it's drawn. It was on Adult Swim and TBS as well. It has a great cast of voice actors. It has Conan O'Brien. It has Ron Funches. It has David Keith. He does. Keith David. Ron Perlman.
David Tennant.
This actually caught me so off guard. I'll give you the perfect comparison. If you were to take Futurama and BoJack Horseman and put them both together, this is what you would have. The animation is on a next level. It's better than anything you would see in the Family Guy, Futurama, or Rick and Morty. It has a little bit of that cynicism that Rick and Morty brings to the table. The main character is, kind of almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy type of a thing. He's kind of a slacker. He was doing time as a janitor, a maintenance guy on a spaceship. And then he starts to go off on an adventure when he comes in contact with this lovely alien that he names Mooncake. And Mooncake is the most adorable thing you've ever seen drawn. And, but it just deals with all this space. And Logan, I think you would love it, just the sci-fi aspect of it. But I will tell you this, it has some dark, dramatic beats that you do not see coming. And if anybody's watched Rick and Morty, you know how sometimes it can take some introspective moments and kind of just pause and say, yeah, humanity is kind of this way. The meaning of life is kind of this way. And it's not all fun. Sometimes it's just sad. This hits on some really dark levels. And there's some not graphic violence, but violence and consequence. It's not Tom and Jerry violence. It's actually, scars over time. And that's another thing. A lot of these characters, they deal with time. And I love they have, instead of light speed, I think they call everything's kind of like a loose comparison to, some of the other sci-fi tropes. I think they called it like light fold instead of light speed or something like that. But in the ship they have, it's right, and I will put it right up there. I know this is going to set the internet on fire, but the design of the ship that they have I would put it right up there with the Millennium Falcon in regards to recognizable, iconic ships, and the sound design and the score. It is so far beyond what I've ever seen in a let's just say a fun cartoon series. I mean, it's almost like if you were to blur the lines between a high level anime series and, like I said, Futurama. It's kind of like blurring the lines of that, and it has just fantastic score. You know, I mean, really soft playing pianos. You know, despondent chords, things like that.
Where did you watch it?
I caught it on HBO Max because they own what do you call it? TBS.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on
easy
TBS.
fix.
yes, the Final Space, and it's just and also Jane Lynch is in it. She does an AI voice and she kills it, and a lot of amazing characters. Again, if you were to take, I guess 3 of them, I'd say Futurama, Rick and Morty, and BoJack Horseman, and you mix them all together, and it has just a lot of stuff, a lot of heart, I guess is the best way I'd say it. So go ahead and check that out. Be sure and check out all the things that we're binging. I'm going to put links in the description just to allow you to keep pace with us. And who knows, maybe we'll build an app, or and write a book, and make a gaming console. You never know. I mean, we can do anything here. So anyway, this was all great stuff. And again,
I just added it to my my watch list on HBO Max.
Yeah, cool.
I'm telling you, and I want to get your thoughts on it. If maybe next week, anybody who sees it, just to give me your thoughts on it. I think you'll dig it.
Half-hour shows?
Yes. Half-hour shows,
Okay.
and season 3 is starting at the end of this month. Like I think it's actually next week. So
Okay.
But again, Logan, I'm really only because I know you are such a fan of sound design. There are scenes that are pulled right out of Star Wars where they'll be like in a dire situation, and their crew flies in, and this lightfold, that's what they call it, lightfold, and it'll fly in on this just cool looking ship, and the sound design of that ship just gives you goosebumps, and you're like,
cool.
Yeah, again, it's a cartoon that looks way too cute for the subject matter that you're exposed to. So
I will check it out and let you know next time.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.